Hey, what's up, guys? This is my first video, but anyways, I wanted to get into a certain subject on this video, which is the idea of alchemy. Now, if you know anything about alchemy, you've heard of the concept of turning lead into gold. And lead, you can look into how some people thought, oh, you take lead, the element, and turn it into gold, the metal, right? Um, and how it actually symbolizes something different. It still symbolizes the fact that lead being a common, you know, material, and gold being the highest valued material, right? And of course, this was way back in the day, where gold was like this sort of gold god, right? Sort of symbolism of money exchange and value. And I want to get into how, if you look at what gold is, in itself, in a practical sense, what does gold do for us? Why did we, and why do we even today, this is 2022, still like value gold as it having immense value? And I'm here to sort of walk through a bit of, it doesn't make sense. Like, there's no surgeon who does heart surgery to save someone's life using gold in that procedure. There's no gold being used today for something that's life-saving or life-generating. Now, I know gold is a really good conductor, some say the best conductor for electricity, and that will obviously be a use of practicalness, but you don't need gold to use as a conductor. Like, you can find something else a conductor, like copper as a conductor when it comes to electricity and things like that. So gold is also not necessary in that sense. It could be the best, but also, like, when people work in electricity and don't use gold at all, a lot. So why is gold so valuable? Now, if you were to go into the Sumerian texts, which is like considered the earliest findings of literature in our human history, then you can get some other insight on that. But I'll just talk to the someone who hasn't read that and just look at it like this. Isn't gold just valued because because of a collective agreement? Like, isn't gold just valued because we all agree it has this value? Right? And but what? But why? Why did we start to value gold? It's because it's scarce. It's because it's rare. So that shows that our money system is based on scarcity. The less you have of it, the more value it has, right? And that system's based on scarcity when we live in a world of abundance. Now, if this is the first time you've ever heard someone mention that our earth is of abundance, you might be thinking, no, there's a lot of limitation things here. We're overpopulated, we're running out of resources. I'm here to tell you that that's only because of the money system. The money system is to take what is and keep it for yourself. Like, what is abundant, like the resources that some would say are running out, and commoditize it, commercialize it, and thus you can sell it and people give you money. And you can just do your research outside of this. And if you don't want to believe me, then just work with me as a hypothetical. In a world of abundance, actually, no, I'm not doing that. The world is of abundance, okay? And it's just being taught to us that it isn't abundant. We're running out of resources. We're overpopulated. And if you just do some simple calculations, you'll see that we're not overpopulated at all. For example, every American household can fit in Texas with about an acre of land. In just Texas alone, every American household can live in Texas. Sounds insane, but it's true. You just do some simple math and you can figure out, oh wow, Texas is that big, and also there's not that many people in America. But it's also the design of cities, towns, rural areas, farms, things that all that design makes it seem like, oh, we're so crowded. It's not like that at all. It's just the people who own the lands don't want that many people on the land, so they promote the idea that we're overpopulated. That's all. So getting back to gold and the social agreement of it being scarce, and so we value it. I'm sure you know that a few centuries, not a few, a century ago, or just about 100 years ago. Oh, maybe it wasn't 100 years ago. It was probably a lot more recent than I'm thinking. Within the last 100 years, we got off the gold standard. It was in the 70s. Do you know? I don't remember. It was recent though, in our existence. Now we got off the gold standard where for specifically in America, the dollar bill was as equal to a certain amount of gold and or a certain amount of silver. But then we got off that gold standard, and now it's just paper. And in that same sense, stay with me now, we're viewing paper money, the dollar bill, the same as how we viewed gold. Meaning, there's no practical, how do I say it? There's nothing practical I can use with paper, and that's with fancy print and these ambiguous symbols and occult symbolism or whatever is valueless, really, in the sense of like nothing you can do practically other than we've all agreed that this has a certain value, so we use it as an exchange and we use it in trade. And so you give me something, I give you money. I give you something, you give me money, and we all agree to this standard, even though it's just fancy paper. If you're being honest, that's all it is, right? So here's what I was going to introduce: is that lead into gold exists in our physical reality. The alchemic, just the process of alchemy, the philosophy of alchemy of turning lead into gold. It's almost like a quick get rich quick scheme or scam, where you use lead, you have a lot of that as common, and then you turn it into gold, and now you're rich. Yay! You didn't really work for it, and it works like that. That's like the whole point of like the purpose, pretty much, of like this turn lead into gold in alchemy. And you can look into it for yourself and see a lot of different stories and such, but it really just comes down to that point. And I'm saying that that's being done today. But if it's all symbolism, if the money is just a symbol of exchange, the money is just a symbol of value, but isn't actually valuable, where gold is a symbol of value and not actually valuable. I don't really need gold in my day-to-day. I don't. And in the same sense, if lead is just a symbol and gold is just a symbol, the alchemic process, the alchemy philosophy process of turning this common thing into something rare can be seen today. I'll explain very shortly. I won't want to go too much. I think I'll just make this video 10 minutes. But look at the world and how we treat the world. And I say world, I mean the environment, I mean Earth. I would even add the animals too, the plants, and other human beings. How do we treat all the animals? Relatively, like majority of humans, majority of animals, majority of plants, majority of the earth. How do we, as people in the first world specifically, how do we treat them? If you're being honest, you would know the answer. It's just abuse. We abuse all these things. All of these things we abuse. These very common things. There's a common amount. There's a common amount. As humans are common, animals are common, plants are common. The earth is quite common. I mean, it's where we live, right? And we're destroying it, in a sense. But for what? It's almost like when you turn lead into gold, is the lead still there and there's gold? Or do you have to cause its extinction in order for it to turn gold. The specific lead that you're turning to gold, not all lead, but you would have to cause its extinction in the process of turning it into gold, right? In that sense, we are abusing slash using in an abominable way, in an abnormal way, the Earth's resources, humans, animals, plants, for gold. You might be thinking, gold. Oh, he was saying it's like paper money. And it's like, yes, you're getting it, don't we? Don't we do that though? If you're being honest, we do. But there's another layer that I was getting at. Not just for money. That is also symbolized as gold. But something even higher. Why do we want a lot of money? Not just to survive, right? And to make sure all our needs are met, like the base. There's another reason why people want money. Is that what you can use with money. And so you can buy things that makes you feel really good. Like a Lamborghini. Not everyone wants a Lamborghini. Maybe a BMW. Maybe just a car in general, right? Or you can buy a house. You can buy some land. You can buy investments, stocks, things like to generate more money, right? You can buy a pool. You can buy, or you can rent, right? You can rent and go on vacation. With more money, correct me if I'm wrong, comes more freedom in the sense of buying power, not in the sense of responsibility and where you got the money and how you have to manage the money, just in the sense of buying power, purchasing power. You have a lot more things you can do in life because you have a lot more money. Just ask any wealthy person who's making more than $150 million, or even just more than $1 million. You ask them, they can tell you, like, or just look at their life. They're doing a lot more things than you. They can shop at Whole Foods and you're still shopping at Walmart. You see what I'm saying? You know, Whole Foods has better foods and things like that, but you can't get it because you can't afford it. That's your body's not getting the optimal nutrients that you know you should get, but you have to settle with middle class to lower sense food that you can afford and whatnot. Look at it like this. We're using lead to turn into gold, right? We're using the earth as lead, meaning it's like, we don't care about it. It's so, and we don't care, okay? Whatever, we'll burn it. What we really care about is gold. We want gold. And so you can see the actual reality of us using the earth's resources and destroying it, like the oceans and the environment, and to make a profit, to make money, which is the symbol of gold. But I'm saying there's something higher than money that we're actually seeking, and that's happiness. That's the feeling of ecstasy. That's the real gold we're chasing. It's rare. If you're being honest with yourself, it's rare to have those moments in life where you just feel so good, no care in the world, and it's just, oh wow, life is amazing. It's like like an orgasm, really, but even more intense. So that's how we're actually living. The philosophical, I'm making up words, work with me. The philosophy principle of legend to gold in the physical reality. And you might be noticing in this video, it's like, okay, I can see where you got to that answer. Cool. I'm here not only to let you know that we're doing that and how the alchemy philosophy, this alchemy philosophy or process is actually real in the physical, not just symbols. But that is not best. We should not be doing this. Remember, gold, paper money, feelings of ecstasy, they're just an agreement of the collective. We can change the agreement, and then we can value earth resources as gold, and not in the starting point of scarcity or rarity, why it's valued, but actually by what it gives. Thanks.